Good day.
Good day.
Good day, Wasabi on the mic.
General Spicy with the hype.
So today we got something special for you. Not quite special for depending who is watching. We'll be reacting to someone known as the Top G.
The one, the only, Andrew Tate.
So he had an interview with Mario Nawfal. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But it's about the West is collapsing.
Yeah.
So let's see what Mario Nawfal and Andrew Tate has to say about that.
If I can't say be healthy and don't die, what can I say? If I can't say go be successful and take care of your family, what can I say? Am I supposed to do what most rich people do? Take my hundreds of millions, delete my Twitter account and vanish and leave all of these peons and peasants to suffer? Because that's what rich people do, because the mob is ungrateful. Every single person who watches this needs to tweet a thank you to Elon Musk. Every single person.
Are you a peasant?
The peasants and peons. You're the peasant, I'm the peon, bro. I don't know.
Nah, bro.
But you are?
That's insane. Nah, he has wild views. He has wild views.
Next level.
Oh, but I disagree with him on whatever. He's the most powerful person in the world. You're a nobody. Say thank you. The world has lost everything. It's lost its gratefulness. It's lost its decorum. We've lost our respect. We've lost any kind of unifying binding factor. The Western world has collapsed in real time. We are in a war. And it's not just a domestic problem. I want you to understand something, Mario. It's not just a domestic problem. Our enemies don't have this problem.
Who's our enemies? Who are you referring to? Can we put them in a bucket, or is it more of a mental?
Well, instead of enemy, let me say competitors, because the world is endless competition. Russia doesn't have this problem. China doesn't have this problem. India doesn't have this problem.
Would you want to live in China though?
I'm not saying I do. What I'm saying is, in the global competition, which is forever ongoing, we have a population at permanent civil war trying to compete against a unified population which outnumbers us 4-1. Where is the ending to this? And if all these liberals who want to complain and cry about authoritarianism under the Republicans are going to really hate the world when America falls. If we don't unify, if we don't get behind some idea and stick up for ourselves, the domestic problems are the least of our worries. We have international issues which are encroaching on us in real time.
Wait, I mean, people will mention the West. Is that only regard America? No?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Only America.
Dude, the guys in America, they are so narrow-minded that they think they are the world. The world revolves around them. So mostly when people refer to the West, they refer to America. But at times they could also be referring to like Europe and kind of first world nations.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Yeah. That's what I would think the West was like. When people say they want the country to become like a Western country, I would think, those are the examples that they would use.
But America is at the
specifically one.
It's all about control.
Yeah, 100%.
At the moment, America has a lot of control in the world, right? Because of the currency that they use as well, and how that's why Trump can just put tariffs on any nation he wants. Just bah, 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 bah. Right, left, right, and center. It's like he eats tariffs for breakfast. And so if they don't pull up their socks in the sense, right, then you get nations like China, Russia, who will usurp them, and now they will have control, and now they will start affecting certain things.
So if there's just one person in charge, everybody else would probably suffer from that.
Yeah,
so
obviously.
The battle of being on top is what's keeping some sort of balance around the world. Yeah,
true.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The Western world is going to implode. There are external forces. There are internal forces. This is the end of empire.
Is that a flaw in democracy, a flaw in the concept of freedom? One that...
I think this is similar to my question.
Okay.
It's like, is there a problem if they do end up not being unified? You see,
we cannot pinpoint the solution to it, but we're witnessing that unfold. As you said, Dubai doesn't have the freedom that the US has, but it is safer. It is a place I can walk around and not worry about having security. In the US, I'm sure you'd think twice now after what happened a couple of days, or what happened yesterday. In Romania,
Well, all systems are broken. democracy is a good system, but it becomes corrupted. And obviously, dictatorships are not a perfect system either. All systems eventually collapse underneath the weight of their own ineptitude, because all systems are inept. And it is a circle in which democracy falls to a kingdom of some sort, where we find a savior. And eventually, when the king dies and he's replaced by someone inept, we then call to choose our own king, and democracy returns.
There's one example I can think about that is Nelson Mandela.
How so?
Bro,
How things so?
to what was the expectation when he became in power to what it is now?
Yeah, true. I mean, the leadership that followed afterwards, right? Leading up until Thabo Mbeki, who was, I believe he was the last president before Jacob Zuma got it, where the rand was still strong, dude. I mean, we used to, the highest I remember at that time was a 7 rand to a dollar.
What?
Yeah, dude, we say $1 is 7 rand.
Now it's double, over double.
Now it's like what, 17, 18 rand or so. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I mean, because they lose the vision, man. They lose the plot.
They get comfortable.
It becomes one of those, and they forget what they were fighting for at the beginning.
Because one thing, like even like an example like China, they never get comfortable.
Yeah.
They're always looking for ways to improve, to innovate, to just get to the next thing before the next country.
Yeah, there's a story that I heard about Coca-Cola, right? When I think it was the original CEO of Coca-Cola, when he left, Coca-Cola, after a while, the stocks and the prices and just the value of the company, of the brand itself, started going down.
Okay.
Like super low.
Okay.
And then they didn't understand what was it. They tried marketing, they tried anything that they could, until they realized that, oh, then what they did is they called back, I think they called back the CEO, if I'm not mistaken. Then what he did was, he said, let us go back to the original vision, to the original mission, right? And once he reinstated that, the value of Coca-Cola started to shoot through the... when an inept leader comes in after somebody who was there, right? And that's when a system that was working becomes inept, you know?
Yep. Not everybody will carry the values that you left behind.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm not saying I have the solution to this, because all empires have fallen the same way. What I'm saying is, and what I'm doing is lamenting the end of democracy as we know it, because it is happening in front of our eyes. You may sit and say it's not happening, but it is. I'm not saying I know what the exact solution is, but I'm saying that it's very sad that it's happening, even if it's unavoidable. And perhaps, if I were to think about this rationally, considering that all democracy falls in the end, we should at least try our very best to retain our morality, retain our humanity. So if it damages democracy to lock up all these clowns who were laughing at Charlie Kirk, well, democracy is over anyway. So we need to at least reinstill our morality and humanity by teaching people that you don't laugh about the deaths of a father in front of his kids. I would at least do the moral thing. And the moral thing is to let these people know that this is not acceptable. That is not a human way to act, irregardless of politics. That is inhuman.
So where would you live? Romania, you're arrested. You have...
And I listened to him now talking about how, like, it's not even about politics. It's not even about democracy, whatever the case is. At least let us retain and hold to our values and our models.
Exactly.
Right? And I think people have started losing that and started degrading from holding their values and holding their like morals and ethics, man.
Yeah. Even with that aspect, it's just people are losing the understanding between right and wrong. You see, so the moral aspect of this.
So that line is starting to disappear.
Definitely starting to disappear, and the only way to bring it back is to hold people accountable. And the law, there's one thing the law has been struggling to do for a long time.
So what you're saying, bring back the death sentence?
Some countries still hold it. They say sometimes death is an escape.
Yeah,
like even America is one of the countries where its law is not held to its standard that they set themselves.
Yeah.
Like even when someone does something wrong, a crime, stealing, whatever it is. I've heard so many stories of how they got released so easily, low bonds, less sentencing than you would expect, and then if you know that you're not going to suffer such hard consequences for your action, what you're going to do? You're going to do it again.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Going to be released in a few years anyway, so
just go back to it again.
Yeah. Prison should not have paid to anything like that. They must make they must make them hunt for their food.
Nah, you can't do
that. It's leniency, man, and I think, look, I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm fully in support of human rights and the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it's with trying to hold to that. A lot of compromise is input, and we have started blurring a lot of lines as to what is right and what is wrong. And then people started seeing loopholes and gaps. It's like, okay, cool, then maybe I can do this, and it's not as bad.
Yeah.
And so we like, okay, we've gotten to a point where killing is wrong, and that should not be like a first reaction. Somebody does something wrong, let's death sentence on.
No,
obviously not. Be gracious, be merciful, right? Yeah. And give somebody a chance. And I think that's where society has gotten to.
Yeah.
But I think it has gotten beyond that. And now we're giving way too many chances.
I think it was one of Charlie Kirk's points. In context, the way he explained it, it shows that he meant too much empathy is what's causing society to go in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Because we're allowing a lot of things that shouldn't be allowed.
Sometimes you gotta rule with the iron rod.
If my parents didn't give me hiding, I probably wouldn't have learned from that.
That hiding saved your life, bro. I mean, there's a Bible verse that says, if you spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Yeah.
The society and the young people today. A lot of the times, up until they get to a certain age, I don't blame them for the way they've turned out.
100%.
I always blame the generation that came before them. Not the parents only, but the whole generation that came before them. Because one of my teachers used to tell me, once, when he was young, right, early 1900s, right, he would get into trouble. Before he even gets home, one of the neighbors or somebody who was there would have already sorted him out. Gave him a good one, When he gets home, he gets another one, and while he's at that.
Oh, you man.
So that's where that whole saying, I believe, holds true, that it's the community that raises the
100%.
See, and when we fail as a community to raise the children, they grow up seeing and learning and what we taught them. But then we get upset with them when we see them do that.
100%. That's how it is.
But yeah.
Facts.
Tried to kill you a week ago. The UK had a comedian arrested a few days ago for a joke he made. Other people arrested for things they tweet. In the US, Charlie Kirk killed, people celebrating his death. We're talking about Europe. We're talking about the US. I come from Australia. At least there's no bad news there, but censorship is starting to get traction.
There's a lot of bad news in Australia, and that's what's so scary. Well, that's what's so scary. Where do we go, right? When Rome was falling, I'm sure the Romans, who believed Rome would never fall, because it's Rome. We've been in charge for thousands of years. We have marble, these big, beautiful marble constructions and gold-plated towers. How can we possibly fall? I'm sure once they understood the decimation was coming and that Rome was going to fall, they asked themselves the same question: where do I go? Where is there to go? And there's never an answer.
Where are you going to live after?
I don't know the answer to the question. My intention is to return to America. That's my intention. But I'm going to catch a bullet sooner or later. But what else can I do? Where else can I go? I'm not Chinese. So what do you want me to do? I can go to China.
And rightfully so. A lot of people don't have solutions, right?
Yeah.
And I would also dare say that there is no solution to this fallen world as it is right now. Well, there is a solution, but I don't think we will reach that solution by ourselves. What we need is Christ, right? We need this world. It needs Jesus, the Savior, to come and save this world from where it is. His rulership, his reign, because that has been taken out of institutions, that he has been taken out of the society. America was founded on Christian beliefs.
Yeah.
And it was so for the longest of times. They used to have the 10 commandments in the city halls, and they used to pray in schools. They used to teach about Christ in schools.
Even when you go to court, you had to put your
everything,
the Bible.
Everything was centered on Christ.
Truth.
And you see how prosperous America was for the first 400 years, right? And now you start to see the more, and it's not even now only, but the more they remove Christ from institutions, from schools, from homes, from families, whatever the case is, the more and more degenerized. What's it? Degenerated or degenerized society has
All
become.
these degenerates coming
That's
to
the word.
society.
But yeah.
The further we deviate away from Christ is when everything starts getting more and more chaotic.
Exactly.
More and more problematic.
Mm-hmm.
And just more and more sad.
Yeah.
Really sad.
Very sad.
This is
We're
just
becoming Sodom and Gomorrah slowly, but not even slowly, fast. Very quickly.
At this time,
I just see brimstone and fire come from heaven, dude. Smote us.
there's only one other cleansing you can get now, bro. Unfortunately,
cleansing our fire, but
let's continue. Let's continue.
And hide, but that's not who I am.
I've got a lot of critique on China as well. If you speak out too much.
Everywhere. There's critique on everywhere, but I'm not Chinese. I'm American, so I'm talking about the American system. I'm talking about the complete lack of souls in the majority of the American youth in the world today.
What did you and Tristan talk? What was your first reaction when you saw the assassination?
Well, I saw that he had been shot.
Why you watching it?
Well, I saw that he had been shot.
Yo, you're mixing both, man.
And I said to Tristan, Charlie Kirk was shot. And he said, no way. And then I saw that he was stable. And then I saw the video. And I said, there's no way you can make that. You can't make it. As soon as I saw the video, I knew. At that range, you'd be better to take a bullet in the head. Because the bullet would have slowed down enough. Maybe your skull could have saved you. Neck, it's too soft. He bled out. He was over. I knew it instantly. And my heart broke. I don't know what else to say. It's easy for me to get angry and scream at these liberals, but there's no point screaming at a soulless. It's like screaming at a tree, these people. They have no soul. They're not sentient. There's no point screaming at them. My heart is broken.
Like, I'm not saying that they have no soul.
Mm-hmm.
But when common sense is no longer there, it's just hard to conversate.
True.
Or to even have a conversation, because their mind, heart, every part of their being is already set on whatever they're doing is the right way.
The heart has become hardened.
Very hard.
So it's not. No, that's why to him it's like they don't have a soul. What you'll find is that they are very broken. They are searching for answers, but nobody's giving them answers. Rather, what they are receiving is hate. Rather, what they are receiving is a society that pushes them away and pushes them back for asking questions, right? Asking, is this truly right or is this truly wrong? And when they don't give them answers, and then what happens is they just decide, okay, cool, then I'm going to declare my own truth.
For Charlie, for his family, for the Western world as we know it, for the country my father served under, for the country I was born in, my heart is broken. I don't know what else to say to you. The world as we know it is over. And the people who are cheering for his death want you dead too. And they want me dead. And unfortunately, you dead. And the people who are cheering for his death want you dead too.
What you say?
I gave the top look side eye, bro. Top look side eye.
They want me dead. And unfortunately, if you study enough history, these people are psychopathic enough to get what they want. Because it's not about good and evil. It's about motivation. It's about who is prepared to do the most heinous transgressions to win. If you're playing a game, cheaters win. And they're going to cheat. They're going to cheat the election. They're going to cheat the judicial system. They're going to keep cheating until we're all gone.
Since we last spoke, I want to move on to other topics we haven't spoken in a while.
It's not that they are choosing like who can do the most heinous things. It's just that people find it easier to be evil because it's natural to them. Like what you said in the previous one. It's natural to people to be evil and to do bad things, to be weak. And so that's what they tend to do more. And then the harder things, the things where you need to be more truthful, you need to stand up for what is right and walk the right path, that feels as if you are swimming against the current. The river is going down this way, but you have to go this way, the opposite side, in order to reach the prize, which is the top of the mountain.
You see, with all that's going on, the Charlie Kirk, the left and the rights, been going on for quite a long time. Even this recent issue is not something that you would expect to happen in this day and age, but with the mindset that's going around, how people think nowadays, it's not too surprising. But how would one even move forward from this as a country, as a world even?
And he just decided to pray and ask God, if you can help me discover the truth, to find truth. And I think that's what society and the world needs, to get to a point where we are searching for and we are seeking truth. Right? And once we find truth, we'll be able to see between the lies. We see between the lines even to see what is false and what is true. I mean, we've gotten to a point where mainstream media has been the one telling us what is true and what is not. They control the narrative.
When it comes to like content that I used to watch before, like let's say high school, when I used to watch those content, just because it was my favorite YouTuber saying, I always believed it.
Exactly.
No matter what. And then years later, I'm like, yo, this guy was talking a bunch of bull.
What is happening is like we started creating cults around people.
Literally.
You choose a leader, you follow what he says.
Exactly.
I mean, even Andrew Tate himself, right? There's people that follow him. It's basically a cult.
Yeah.
Like he might not say follow me as you cult leader, but people revere him and put him on such a pedestal that if he says the sun is blue, the sun is blue from today on.
And that's the thing, because doesn't mean everything he says is wrong, doesn't mean everything he says is right. But the thing is, even the Bible teaches us you gotta test every spirit.
Exactly.
That means for every single information you receive, you gotta figure it out for yourself, whether it's the truth or not, whether it's the news, whether it's the Bible, whether it's the religion. Figure it out for yourself, because we can say this, we can say that, but there's only so much that we can say.
Yeah.
You gotta figure it out, everything else for yourself. That's the thing.
That's very true.
And that's how also to find the truth.
And if you know the truth shall set you free.
Amen.
Preach. Chop, chop, rice.
Thank you everybody for watching. But now we will
love and leave you.
till next time.